He's not kidding either. He's about to go live.
Welcome to the 30-minute hour. It's the weekly podcast where we discuss business, sports, politics, and whatever's on our mind. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs, your procrastination prevention partner. Joining me as always, you know him as the super CEO, the business strategist extraordinaire, and all-around good guy, Ted Fells.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
All right, good evening. I'm feeling inspired, like an extra level of inspiration for this episode.
Oh man, I'm glad I could help you out with that.
Yeah, not only because of you, but we got a dream chaser.
All right. Put on your seatbelt.
Exactly. We're going to talk to the dream chaser here in a little bit and find out how people can chase their dream. Because believe it or not, you can still go after your dream in a pandemic. It's a little known fact that you can go after your dream in a pandemic. So stay tuned for more information on that. But as you can see, this is not your everyday podcast.
No.
We do things a little different on the 30-minute hour.
A little different.
That's right. And you can always check us out. Go to the 30minutehour.net. You can go to our Facebook page, the 30-Minute Hour podcast Facebook page. You can go back and listen to previous episodes from iHeartRadio and wherever you like to get your podcasts. A couple of things you need to know about before we really get rolling. The first is the What Now Movement Facebook group. So today is Marketing Monday, and Maisha Hoy, the marketer extraordinaire, she did a presentation at 12 noon that you have to go back and watch. If you want to take your brand to the next level, if you want to avoid becoming the best kept secret, you need to go back and take a look at that. And then Ted, I think this is a good time for us to announce that big thing that we've got coming up over the next 7 weeks. You think this is a good time to start talking about that?
You think they're ready?
Yeah, I think so, Ted. I think so.
All right, your call. Because I was wondering if they were ready. But do you think they're ready?
Yeah, I think this is a good time to let the cat out of the bag and tell everybody about this. What Now University. That's right. What Now University starts.
Did you see Yaya's face? Like, she was like, wow, the cat, like that cat came out the bag and it was just on her face like, tell me more. So tell them more, Eric. Tell them more.
Yeah, you have Hampton University, you have Howard University, you have What Now University. So What Now University is a little different from those others. It's a 7-week masterclass covering different topics to help you to level up. And the whole point is to move from vision to action, from passion to execution. You're really taking things to the next step and being equipped with real world strategies from masterclass instructors who have been there and done that. And as an added bonus, once you graduate from What Now University, you also become a part of a special mastermind group where you can just take your game, your ideas, and your best practices and really move things forward. So make sure you go in and check out the What Now Movement group, and you can see the links and the information for What Now University. You need to register right now. Right now.
If I were you.
Yeah, right.
I would do it.
Exactly.
Like right now.
Exactly. Don't procrastinate. Don't
procrastinate. No.
That's right. You got to make it happen because 2021, we need to take our game to that next level. Like, for example, real quick, we're gonna keep it moving, but like one of the topics, we have the TV lady. She's a TV broadcaster, and she's going to talk to you about how to get your light and your mic and your look right. Because we're in virtual world, right? That's one of the things. She's going to give you the step-by-step instructions. We get questions all the time. What about my lighting? What about my sound? What type of microphone should I use? What are the best colors to wear? Those are just some of the things that are going to come out of What Now University. So make sure you sign up.
Wow.
All right. That's right.
Before it's too late. You got my heartbeat. I'm nervous. I mean, I'm just excited about this. I'm excited for you all. Do it now.
That's right. Do it now. So, Ted.
Yes, Eric.
I've got something that's on my mind.
Please share, Eric.
So you know how our guest is the dream chaser, and so I want to talk to you about this. This came to mind as I was getting ready for our conversation today. I have a question. Are you chasing the default dream?
The default dream.
Right. Are you chasing the default dream? So there's a story that's told of a CEO. His name is Chris. And he was having this meeting with his second in command. The second in command is named Sam. So normally they would have their Monday one-on-one meeting at Chris's office. But this particular day was different. Chris decided that a field trip was in order. So he takes Sam out to this gorgeous field. And as they walk, Chris, the CEO, he's pointing to the blue ocean to the left. And as they continue to walk, he's directed Sam's attention to the breathtaking mountains to their right. And then he took him by surprise when he stopped in the middle of the field to make the following statement. He said, Sam, if you keep working hard for me, in another 5 years, everything you see here will one day be mine. Sam suddenly realized that he was chasing the default dream. Right. Here's the big takeaway. Here's why I told you this story. And this is the part of this show where you just have to stop whatever you're doing. Unless you're registering for What Now University. Keep doing that. But
That's right.
If you're doing anything else, just pull over to the side of the road. If you're in the car, pull over to the side of the road. If you're on the treadmill, hit the pause button.
Put the ham sandwich down.
That's right. Put the ham sandwich.
Put the ham. I don't care how good it is. You know, when you get to the middle of the sandwich, everything kind of gets together. Put it down. Put the ham sandwich down.
Put the ham sandwich down. Here we go. Here is the big takeaway.
Big takeaway.
Big takeaway. If you're not chasing your dream, you're chasing somebody else's by default.
Wow. Whew.
That's right. So the key is to work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
All right. So our guest today.
I don't even know if you need me now.
Oh, we need you. We need you.
You said everything. I was just
intro now. You gotta think of some more stuff because we coming.
That's right.
We coming.
So our guest today, she can help you to chase and achieve that personal dream, so that you're going after the dream that your dream, not somebody else's. Dream Chaser Radio was birthed by our guest. She's interviewed many Grammy award-winning artists, award-winning producers, authors, inventors, etc. So she built the station on the foundation of supporting others by giving them the opportunity to showcase their talents on the show. And she's shown the special talents of all who come on the show, and not just celebrities, but people like you and I who have goals and dreams. If you're a dream chaser and you want inspiration and companionship on your journey, then this is the best place for you to get it. Please join me in welcoming to the 30-minute hour podcast, Yaya Diamond.
Hello, everybody.
Right. Welcome, Yaya. It is
Thank
an
you.
honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. The
Yes.
honor is mine.
All right. So let's get at it. So during your childhood years,
Hmm.
what did you want to be when you grew up?
A superhero.
All
I'm
right,
not
all
gonna
right,
lie.
all right,
Okay.
I wanted to be Wonder Woman.
all right, all right. All right. How did that go?
Yeah, I was black. I'm just kidding. No, I kept turning in circles when nothing happened.
Mm.
But I
Except
mean,
you got dizzy.
I got dizzy. I fell to the floor. Being a superhero to me is being somebody that people can look up to.
Mm,
So I wanted to be someone that would facilitate others.
mm.
Always, always.
Interesting. So I just from an early age, you just wanted to help other people.
Yeah, I didn't know how,
Hmm.
but I've always wanted to. So yeah.
Interesting. And so you were also the author, the daughter of a multi-platinum recording artist. And I know this is the first podcast anyone has ever asked you this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What was it like growing up as the daughter of a multi-platinum recording artist?
It was normal, you know. I just, I don't know how to put it. You're raised in the environment of entrepreneurship. You're raised in the environment of going after your dreams and your goals, seeing it come to fruition. My mother was very down to earth. She still is. We never had a maid. I cleaned the dishes. I washed my clothes. I cleaned my room. You know, it was as normal as on that end as it could be. I went to school. I had to get good grades, but then there were times where we were gone. We were in London or we were in a different country where I would watch my mother sing music videos and tutors and different things. But,
Mm,
it was my life.
mm,
And my life to me, because that was what it was normal.
mm.
I didn't see it out of the ordinary at all until somebody kind of pointed it out to me. Hey, not many people live like you. So it's like, oh,
Right.
really? They don't, you know?
Right.
I got made fun of a lot too.
Hmm.
Mm,
I got made fun of a lot. I was very advanced for my age because I had tutors. We would go through a couple of grades a year on the road instead of
wow.
just one grade, Um, it was interesting. I mean, I was the geek.
Hmm.
And I was the one that everybody made fun of because everybody thought, oh, she thinks she's all that. And I was like, really just living my life. I didn't think I was above anybody else. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I thought it was pretty normal because everybody else had to wash dishes and I did too. And everybody
Mm.
else had to clean their room and so did I. I didn't have any special people coming behind me and doing anything. I did it myself.
That's
So,
interesting. That's interesting. You said you went through a couple grades a year.
mhm.
I'm like, I started in third grade, and then you in middle school. I mean, how did that go?
So basically, American education is a lot further behind than European
Mm,
education. When I came back from Europe, I believe in the fourth grade, I was on the sixth grade level. Um, then my mom had to put me in private school because I was doing trigonometry and calculus in the sixth grade.
Hmm.
So she didn't want me to kind of fall behind, so she was kind of forced to put me in private school for most of my life, um, just to keep me up to date with what my tutor was giving me on the
mm.
road. But it was that's just the way it was. I mean, you can get through so much more with 101 than you can with 130. So
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
No, that's a great point. Yeah, so I
mhm.
didn't even think of it from that aspect as having
Mm.
the tutors advances you just because it's just you and the tutor.
Correct,
As
Well,
correct.
opposed to,
you always got to be paying attention if it's just you and the tutor. You
Oh
can't be
yeah.
you can't be
Oh,
daydreaming, Eric.
oh
If,
no,
if
you
they
get
right up in your
smacked.
face.
Hey, pay attention. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
No dozing off or any of
Oh
that when it's
no.
just one
Yes,
on
ma'am.
one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Wow.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
like, oh, I didn't know you were calling on me. Like, you're the only one in class. What are you
Right.
talking
Who you think I'm talking to? I'm talking to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was funny because we would be backstage, or we would be in the limo, or we would be on the road. It was tutoring wherever we were. You got to understand, it was it was on the road, so we didn't have a lot of times to stop. And then a lot of times when we did stop, it was a 1 day layover. It wasn't like, oh, you have like 2 or 3 days to relax. No, it was a 1 day layover, and it was maybe 12 hours. But everything was kind of, and you had to be paying attention, so it was pretty intense.
Hmm. So what about like the international perspective? I mean, you were in different countries.
Hmm.
Like, how did that, just having that global perspective, how did that impact you?
My mom told me, she said, you came up to me one day and I was really missing home. My grandmother, uh, you know, my godfather, my godmother, my friends that I had. I didn't have many friends because I was hardly ever home, but the friends I did have, I missed them. I came up to her one day and I remember this. I said, Mom, I want to see American money. I want a quarter and not a half a penny.
Mm.
And these bills are way too big for anybody's pocket. Back then it was the pound. And then, the more money, the bigger the quantity, the bigger the bill. And so she had to send me back home on the plane by myself to
Wow.
Chicago. And, so I went back and forth a lot, but the international travel it was different. The language barrier was always something I had to deal with. I had to learn different phrases just to use the bathroom. I was hungry, things like that. A lot of people did speak English, but a lot of people didn't. Um, I love the countryside, though. I love the traveling, and I love the fans were amazing. They loved my mother. The big concerts, to see a people out there was just amazing. To see my mom, she was a single mother. My mom was a single mother,
Hmm.
and to do that and still raise me, she's a superhero, and I wanted to be just like her.
Cool.
Awesome. So if you could go back to that time as you're
Mm.
growing up today, knowing what you now know, what advice would you give to yourself?
Pay attention. Pay attention. Uh, ask more questions.
Mm.
I asked a lot of questions, but I would ask more questions. Just pay attention and enjoy it. I mean, I got to see a lot of different people and be around a lot of people. And I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I did. I think that the enjoyment level would probably, if I had the chance to do it again, be a little higher. But I did enjoy myself so much, being around people like Gloria Gaynor from the age of 4 years old. When she saw me and I was older, she says, "You look just like, are you Evelyn's daughter? You got to be Evelyn. So you look just like her." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I knew you what you were for." I was like, "Oh my
Wow.
gosh, you're Gloria Gaynor. How did you know?"
Wow.
So just people like that, that knew me before I even knew I knew them,
Mm.
come up to me and say, "You look just like your mother. You got to be Evelyn's daughter." And these are famous people. It's just, but I enjoyed myself. I did ask a lot of questions to the point where my mom told me to shut up, but I probably would ask more questions and just maybe pay more attention. But I was so young. So I think I did the best I could. I really don't have any regrets.
Cool.
Great, great. We're here talking to Yaya Diamond on the 30-minute hour podcast. That's not your everyday podcast. So talk about just some of your life experiences that ended up inspiring you to start Dream Chaser Radio.
Wow. Dream Chasers Radio was started because I was very selfish. I'm just gonna go there. I was not doing what I wanted to do in life,
Hmm.
even though I was doing a lot. You know what I mean? It's like you could be so busy, so involved with what you're doing, but not satisfied. And that's where I was. I was pretty much going down a hole of depression.
Wow.
And I felt it. I felt the downward spiral, and I was like, you know what? I got to get out of this. What do I do? What do I do? And back in 2006, it was like, there's this new thing that was kind of gaining a little bit of clout. And it was like, oh, podcasting. So I set up my computer in my office. I started interviewing my friends and people I knew, and lo and behold, I was like, I really like this. And so, but I had been cautioned against it. Don't do that. It's not going to go anywhere. It's never
Mm.
going to be anything. You're never going to make any money with it. And yeah, I'm glad that they were wrong. So yeah, that was it was for me. It was to pull me out of the rut, interviewing other people, going after their dreams, like the Commodores and the Platter, the Contours and the Platters. I mean, I've had so many different people on the show.
Wow.
Adina Howard was on the show not so long ago. I mean, just people like that to inspire me. And seeing their ups and their downs made my ups and downs look like hills because they were going up mountains. I was going
Right.
up these little hills. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not experiencing anywhere near what you just said, so I'm good. And it really inspired me to go after my dreams and to keep the podcast going.
So let's step back a little bit. So what were you doing? So like, what were you doing that had you so frustrated and feeling like you were unfulfilled?
I was singing gospel music back in the day.
Hmm.
And I love gospel music. I really do. I thought I was helping others by bringing them closer with the gospel music. So I was on BET, I was on the Bobby Jones show. I was pretty much everywhere. And I would walk, and some people would know me, or they would know my mother, and they would know me, it was always, hey, you're Yaya Diamond, or you're Evelyn's daughter. It was one or the other. I just wasn't helping according to the way I should have helped. Like now I feel totally fulfilled. The radio show has actually the podcast. That's another entity, the radio show, but the podcast has really helped me to see where I really belonged. Music is something I love. Definitely, I grew up with it. I can sing. Yes. But I think the combination of the music and the podcast and helping other people on this aspect, on this, fulfills me. And that's what I wasn't doing.
No, and that's interesting because I think there's, and I have a similar experience, not the singing piece, but
That's what I was about to say. I was going to say.
Yeah, I know what I was saying. Now, but I think there's there can be a difference between being successful and then being significant.
Correct.
Like you're like operating in purpose, and I went through that as well. And sometimes people from the outside, they're like, "Oh, you got it made. You're doing what? Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
Hey, what are you talking about? Yeah, no. So I definitely see you on that. And you felt like you were inspired by the interviews that you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's when you came up with the Dream Chasers
Radio.
Yeah.
Dream Chasers Radio. That everybody asks me, why do you name it Dream Chasers? I said, because I know a lady. She is Cheryl Payne from the Supremes, and she's a sweetheart, wonderful person. Gave me a lot of good advice because I opened up for the former ladies of the Supremes. They're very influential in my life. Even to this day, I still have her as a friend. And the one thing that she said to me, she says, yeah, I did the Supremes, are great, but I really want to do writing for theater and do plays. And I said, well, you know what? Her dream never did stop. She's still chasing a dream. So Dream Chasers Radio is very significant. And the aspect of, as you get older, your dreams may change. It may be that maybe they didn't change. Maybe it was just an aspect of your life that you really didn't incorporate yet. Now you just want to go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? So Dream Chasers Radio is not is not the fact that you didn't accomplish what you set out to do, is that you did accomplish what you set out to do, and now there's something else.
Awesome. And then so you interviewed quite a few celebrities. Was there one where you were just like awestruck, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm talking to this person?
Tito Jackson.
Yeah, interesting.
Tito Jackson, sweetheart, down to earth, wonderful person. I was freaking out.
Wow.
Because the Jacksons, man, the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson, Tito Jackson is like, wow, and I was awestruck. I was. I'm not gonna lie. It was a great interview, but I was awestruck. I think I couldn't stop asking questions. So I felt like I was 4 years old again. Mom, why is the sky blue? I felt like that.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a great interview.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I had a co-host, and I didn't give him any time to talk. I'm so sorry.
No time to talk.
I was just, But whatever the case may be, I mean, he did get a few questions in, but I was so awestruck that I was like, blah, 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 blah. And I regret that. I really do. And I did apologize many times. So I'm sorry.
The life of a co-host is tough out here.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
we ought to put together like a group, associate, kind of, and just for us just to kind of just, kind of pour into each other how difficult it is to be, be a co-host, just to, be to get a question in here and there. It's kind of tough.
It is. It is. Especially when you're awestruck and you just have so many questions and you're stupid, because that's how I felt. I felt very dumb. But you live and you learn. And that was the thing. I learned. I learned a lot from that interview.
So it's curious. So what did you learn from that? What are some of the specific things?
Shut up. Shut up, Yaya, shut up. Tag teaming is very important when you have a co-host. Definitely, tag teaming is very important. So you get your question in, and then they get theirs, and so on and so forth. Just to not be starstruck, kind of like get over that before the interview begins, because if you don't, you kind of put your foot in your mouth,
So yeah, for some of our listeners that may have just joined in, can you tell us a little bit about your mother and
My mom.
whatever you can share?
Mm-hmm. My mom is Evelyn Thomas. She is the queen of high energy. She started her career back when she was very young. Her first hit was at 19 years old, right after she had me.
Wow.
Weak Spot. It was called Weak Spot, and then from there she just became the queen of high energy. She had the song High Energy in the 80s. That was the song that's been mixed and mastered, I don't know how many years, and we just got a new mix this year.
Wow.
So it plays. Everybody knows that song that's from that era. A lot of people that are from the millenniums, they know it too, some of them. But my mom was a single mother. That was the biggest thing. A lot of people think that success is that everyone knows who you are, that everyone knows your name, like that cheer song. Everybody
Yeah.
knows your name. But success to me is not like that, because my mom was a single mother who had all the success in the world. But for me, her biggest accomplishment was raising me to be the person I am today. And nobody else saw that
Mm,
except me and her.
mm,
A lot of times success can be taken out of proportion. And
mm,
my mom never did that. She always kept me grounded. She always made me, she said, hey, go wash the dishes. She always told me, your life is probably not going to be like mine.
mm,
Your life is going to be different. You're going to have to tackle different things and overcome different circumstances that I never had to overcome in my life. So I don't want you thinking that you're all high and mighty. Go do your homework. you know So it was clean your room, there's the washer and the dryer, you have clothes
wow.
on the floor, pick them up.
Wow.
So that was her biggest accomplishment for that. I think that out of all the success in the world, if nobody knew who my mother was, I did.
Wow.
And the greatest accomplishment for me in life is the accomplishment of being a mom and a dad
Mm,
who never leave their kids, who are always there to help them through. That is the biggest accomplishment that life can offer. If you're going to tackle it,
yeah.
do it right.
No,
Thank you for that.
I think that's great. And some of the people I work with, and they look. If you see them, they've got outward success. But I think
Yeah,
the worst thing could be, being a public success and a private failure.
right.
Wow.
I mean, that's the last thing you want. Where yeah, you're doing this, you're known, but your kids don't speak to you.
Mm,
Yeah,
And I'm sure you, with celebrities, you probably see some of that.
I have not.
Oh, interesting.
I have not. I have not. I have not ever seen. Uh, and that's something I've never seen. I guess my mom had always surrounded me with people who were concerned about their children.
Hmm.
mm,
She was. She had always surrounded herself with people that were like-minded.
mm,
So I don't know of any celebrities that their kids don't talk to them.
Wow. Well,
Excellent.
that's just an important thing right there. Is just surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded.
Correct. Yeah.
And the energy definitely can help you all to,
Hmm.
to
And if I
achieve your
did,
goals.
I never knew about it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow.
So we have people that are watching us, listening to us right now. They've stopped chasing their dream because of the
Mm.
pandemic. They're saying the thing that makes Ted not cringe. They say, I'm going to wait until things get back to normal.
Ah,
Right.
don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that. But what advice do you have for that person?
Millionaires are made in pandemics.
Mm.
And if I didn't say enough right there,
Mm.
then you just don't want to go after your dream.
Mm.
I'm sorry. That was such a boulder.
Put
You have to
put the
repeat
put
that.
the ham sandwich back down. If you haven't finished it, put it back down and listen to what Yaya just said.
Yeah, millionaires are made during pandemics.
Mm.
And if you don't go after your dream right now, then you really don't want it.
Mm. It's interesting that you say that. I keep thinking about, man, like for this past 9 months or whatever, it's like there's no excuses if you didn't
No,
do something.
no.
Like there's things that I wanted to do at home that I'm just walking by every day and saying, yeah, I'm gonna get that straightened up. Like there's no reason for you not to get whatever you want to get done.
Now I have to say this. I have to say this. I am a very picky person,
Mm,
very picky. And during the pandemic, I chose to focus on the podcast. I chose to focus on growing it. I chose to do my music. And so there was a lot of things around the house that didn't get done because of that. See, there, you have to choose.
mm,
You can't be, oh, this is bothering me, so now I got to go clean that up. Well, what's more important, that you get that clean, or that you do your work when work can be done? So literally I have things that I'm doing little by little. If
mm,
it takes me 10 minutes in the morning to do one little project, that I take my 10-15 minutes in the morning to do that, meditate, do my exercise, and then the rest of the day is for whatever else I need to do to advance the podcast. And I leave all the other stuff. If the towels need to be folded, they'll still be there.
yeah,
They'll get folded later.
yeah,
When I'm watching a movie or something and I'm relaxing after I've done what I was supposed to do that day. So it's like, and if it doesn't get done and it's still in the basket, tomorrow, guess what'll happen? If you wake up, they'll still be there.
Mm.
So they're not going anywhere.
no,
But see, time is of the essence, because if you don't wake up in the morning, the towels will still be there and you won't have to worry about them anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything is not a priority one.
Exactly.
It's just not. Some people they just go crazy because they make everything a priority one.
You
You know,
can't do that.
and,
And in the world of business, there's going to be piles of clothes left on the side of your bedroom.
yeah,
There is going to be papers that need to be organized that have been there for about 2 months. There's going to be things that are going to need to get done. And guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to sit down, because I have a book somewhere around here. I think it's over there. I can't reach it right now, but it's a book of what to do today,
Mm.
which turns into what to do this week, because I don't beat myself down for things I can't get done.
mm,
And that's the biggest thing that I find that people do. They beat themselves down. You should have got this done. You should. No, you did what you could do. I always say, make sure you do things thoroughly. And whatever you didn't do today can be done tomorrow, if tomorrow is here and available for you to have.
mm.
And if it isn't, then you don't have to worry about it anyway.
Mm.
Whatever's left of that ham sandwich, Eric.
I'm telling you.
I mean, whatever's left, boy. I'm telling you, put it down. Another one.
Hey, I hope y'all are taking notes out here. On those of you watching me on IGTV and these other platforms. I mean, she is really dropping some boulders that we need to pay attention to. I think that's so important. I always tell my people I coach and speak to,
Mhm.
there's a difference between being active and being
Right.
effective.
Right.
Mm,
You can just be moving around doing a lot of things, but are you really doing the right things?
Exactly.
yeah.
No,
Mhm.
that's critical. So you
Mhm.
mentioned I know I had the honor of being on your podcast,
Correct.
and I know you had a lot going on back then. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you had the magazine, you had the podcast, the radio. Now you're saying that you've got even more things going on now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
So
that.
so it's the natural progression. I always think that, my husband asked me the other day, he says, I want to know, what are you doing? Because he's like, I know you have Dream Chasers Radio, but do you have more than Dream Chasers Radio? And I says, no, I have Dream Chasers Radio and I put it everywhere. So I have Dream Chasers Radio on all of the internet platforms, and everybody loves for me to say this. I can say it. It's iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Speaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer, Vimeo, Roku, Amazon Fire, Yaya Diamond TV, YouTube. I mean, DreamChasersRadio.com. I mean, and I can keep going. It's Blueberry, Blackberry, Pocket this, Pod that, whatever. So I have it on every automatic place that I can put my RSS feed. Okay. But not only that, I'm on 100.9 FM and 1580 AM on iHeartRadio. And that's something I just added not too long ago, as well as today I got confirmation on my 501c3. So I will be having, not only will I be having my profit, which is Red Hot Reality Entertainment LLC, but I also have, it's called NPD Dream Chasers Radio Inc. And so that's going out today, actually.
She is somebody.
I'm telling
She
Thank you.
is somebody.
So it's just something that, if you're gonna do something, do it. Just do it. Take it one step at a time. Because in 2006, I never thought that I would have a profit, a nonprofit, radio shows, iHeartRadio, be here, be there, be a singer, be with this band, go here, go there, travel with these people, be with Hisville Live, or the former lead singer of the Temptations. I mean, there's just so many different things I've done, but I didn't turn down the opportunities. And the thing with this is, it's the biggest thing that you can damage yourself with is to say no, because at the time you don't feel like you're worthy enough to be in that spot. But guess what? They would have never asked you if you weren't. So do you turn it down because you feel like you aren't there? Or can you look from the outside in and see your potential? And that's what I do every time I take a new step. But the steps take time to get there. It's not like I started this whole thing in 2006 and I just added everything. No, it's 2021 and now I'm doing the nonprofit. It took a while and it's going to take a while, but enjoy the journey, enjoy the process and learn on the way. And just if you feel that this is the direction you need to go in and the opportunity is there, even though you feel like you don't really know anything, say yes. Say yes. Because
Awesome.
obviously if they didn't see it, they wouldn't have asked.
Eric, if you finish the first ham sandwich, just go ahead and make another one, and then put that one down. Cause Yaya is just dropping boulders. Good information. Wow.
No, that's great information.
Mm.
So, how did the radio station piece of it come to be? Did they just hear you on your?
No, I wanted it.
Okay.
And I called and they gave me the price and I said, okay. And I bought it.
Okay.
Wow.
Awesome. So you just went after it.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to give it to you? Are you is it magically going to appear from the sky? No. You actually have to prove yourself. You have to invest in yourself. A lot of people don't want to do that. They're, oh, you paid that much money. Oh my gosh. But look, I'm reaching 1.5 million listeners every time that show goes out on Mondays at 11 o'clock. Every time. And I pay for it. I paid for it. And now I have a wonderful lady named Maria. I can't really disclose too much. She's been nominated for her podcast for an Emmy, and she's going to help me. It's not a podcast. She has a TV show. Sorry. She wants to do a podcast.
Wow.
And she wants me to teach her. Okay.
You can do that.
I could do that. It doesn't drop from the sky. The opportunities come because you've invested in yourself. You have to step out and look in. You have to. It's like you see your best friend going through this trauma with her boyfriend, or or with his family, and you're looking from the outside in and looking at them, telling them, look, and I'm sure a lot of people have gone through this where they, oh, look, they ask for your advice and you tell them because you see from the outside in. Well, you have to do the same with yourself, with your family, with your dreams and your goals. You have to step away and look in and say, there's the issue. There's the problem. Let's fix this. Because if you don't, if you're too scared to do that, you'll never advance and you'll always be afraid and you'll die that way. You really want to do that? You really want to die that way? I don't. So I took it. It's mine. They had it available and I said, I'll take it.
Wow.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So there are people that are watching us now who they're looking at this interview and they say, you know what? Yeah, I want to start a podcast too.
Why not?
So what are some simple steps they can take to get started?
Start. Just start. You're gonna be terrible in the beginning. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be horrible. You're not gonna be able to, unless you've been in broadcasting, unless you've been on the radio, unless you've got some experience with it, you're gonna be horrible. That's the beauty of it, because the growth is gonna be there, and then you're gonna be able to go back to those interviews and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Wow. But that is the beginning. I always love the fact that people are so scared to begin, but when they do begin, the progress comes. Progress will never come. Development will never come. You getting better at anything will never come from you hoping that you'll begin soon.
So that's so true. Whenever whenever I hear someone say this, it makes me always think about just our journey with our podcast, and we're at episode what, Eric? And I always say that to you because I always forget, but I know you know.
So this is episode 93, actually.
Wow! Congratulations!
Thank you. So in order to get to episode 93, you got to get to episode 1.
You actually got to get to episode half.
Yeah.
Half.
Just get it started. That's right.
That's right. Just do it. Just jump. I heard gosh, what's the guy's name? He did the he was, oh gosh, I forgot his name. He's really famous and I can't think of his name. He was a talk show host on was it Family Feud?
Oh, Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey. And also Will Smith. The biggest thing that they ever did say to me, and this I take to heart, jump. Your parachute may not open. You might hit the ground with a thud, but jump. Because that thud is going to teach you what went wrong. But if you don't jump and you hang out in the plane and you land with the plane, you walk off and you're so safe, you're back where you started.
Wow.
Great advice. Great advice. So describe for us a favorite failure that you've experienced from your past. And now when you look back, you realize this contributed to your success.
It wasn't so much a failure. It was a failure. I don't believe in failure. I believe in lessons. So that one thing that I told you where I had to actually step out of where I was and look into the picture and then see where I was. I always thought that because this person had more experience than me, they were better than me. And not to say that everybody's better, but you know how you treat that one person that's been in it so long and you want to kind of ease your way under them, kind of learn from them and but they really don't want to do that. They don't want to be that person and they kind of pull away and you're going and they're pulling. I learned that, again, if I didn't have the talent in the first place, I would have never been asked to be in that position. And so I deem myself as equal going in, even with all my mistakes, just like anybody else, because they went in with mistakes too. They had to start too. So I don't see myself any less of a person than the person who's been there the longest, or maybe I've been there the longest. They come in the same as me. I deem everything as an equal opportunity because we all have something to learn. There's nobody better than anybody else. We're just at different levels and we've been through that, so we could tell you about it. But now we have to go through something and you may go through something different. I mean, literally, we're no better than anyone else, even if you've been there the shortest amount of time or the longest. We're all the same.
Mm.
So that was the biggest lesson I had to learn coming into a situation where this person had way more years than I had ever even thought of doing it. And I had to pull myself back and say, wait a minute, they're in the same position I'm in. If I didn't deserve to be in this position, I would have never been asked. And they're there too. They're the same. So I'm the same. So why not? I just pulled away and did my thing.
No, that's great. And it takes experience to realize that. I just remember
Yeah.
early in my career, I was a corporate trainer. I remember
Mm.
I had to do a presentation like the president of the company or the
Ooh.
senior vice president or this. And I remember I would just be terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. But that's helped me to this day because every now and then there's somebody who's a high level mentor that's in my audience.
Mm.
And I can still just kind of, and I'm not just terrified. I notice them, but it's not like, before.
Right.
But I think it's about that. You have to focus on the mission.
Yeah.
I think that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter who's in the audience. It's all about the mission and
Yeah.
delivering the message you're supposed to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting, Eric, Eric, based on what you just said is, I have so many meetings now, virtual. Like I'm getting more virtual meetings than I would get face-to-face meetings before.
Yeah.
And with the virtual meetings, doesn't matter who it is, you see them in their home, right? The dog running around, see the kids in the background. You might see something that looks like it's not actually in place. And it just kind of strips them from being this person that's just so, so much greater,
Yeah.
because when you're going into this, this tall building and you're going up to the 20th floor to meet this person, you have to go through their administrative person at the front and wait, and they come in, and people keep coming in and out of their office, and it's like they're like, wow, I'm here with this this larger than life person, but now it's like everybody's kind of the same.
The same.
Like what'd you do this weekend? Nothing much, because we're all staying in.
Mm-hmm.
Did you put your mask? Like we're all kind of the same. I think that's what this pandemic situation has done, is that it's just kind of, just kind of put everybody kind of at an equal place,
Yeah.
and really not that they weren't already at an equal place. We just put them someplace else.
Right.
So now we're like, oh, you're just like me. You're in the house and you can't do anything. And
We're
you're
all the same
wondering,
here.
are you going to take a vaccine or not?
Mm.
The kids, whatever's going on with the kids, you got to get to the store. I mean, we're all
Gotta go out and get some dog food, y'all.
yeah, same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, you've been dropping all these boulders, and that's really motivating me to ask this next question.
Uh-oh.
Like what book has had like the biggest impact on the way you think?
Oh wow. Okay, so The Art of Thinking Big.
Mm.
Loved it. Because it's like there's so many mini steps to the art of thinking big. I think people miss the steps. And so I read that book because I like thinking big, but in order to think big, you got to think small. And so I had to read the book just to see the contrast of it all. And it did contrast itself really good. It was great because it gave you the micro steps to the big picture. And a lot of people they think that they're going to be this big star, and they don't realize that to be a big star, there's so many different things you have to do. And then when you get there, maintenance is worse than getting there. So it's just, they don't know. But I mean, I love that book. That was one of the books. And I read that. It was a gift to me. I read that many years ago. And I love it. I reread it every once in a while.
The Art of Thinking Big. We got to check that out. All right. So now we're at Ted's favorite part of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, Ted just loves this part. It's called Around the Horn. And this is where
I don't like this part. Yeah. Do not listen to Eric Twig. I do not. It's a setup every time. And he just loves to set me up with this because he's like all throughout the interview, whenever the guest is going into oh, this is big. Oh, she's got some good stuff. And he is going to have to follow whatever she just drops.
Oh, goodness.
So no. Take it easy on.
It's going to be extremely difficult for you tonight, Ted.
I'm telling you, I can tell.
But yeah, so this is the opportunity we each go around and leave that closing takeaway that we want people to remember. But Yaya, we'll start with you as the guest of honor. What is your closing takeaway based on this episode?
Based on this episode, I think, people, whoever's listening today and whoever would be listening in the future and watching a rerun of this show.
My mom is listening right now.
Oh, Mom. Hi. Hi, Mom.
We got a couple family members that are still checking out the show.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a couple of them.
Yeah, definitely be supportive. But to go around and go kind of back to the whole premise of what I want to get out to the people is that if you don't start, you will never finish. If you don't support yourself, no one else will. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will believe in you. And if you don't step out and look on the inside, everybody that's on the inside will think that you don't deserve where you are on the outside.
Awesome. Words to live by. Ted.
I'm trying to think of something. Look, so just the whole concept around just dream chasing, when we were first gonna interview you and heard that everything was kind of around dream chasing. What's this really about? And the more that I've listened to you, just been just a common theme of just like going after it, just making it happen, no matter what it is. Nothing's too big. No stage is too big for you. No opportunity is too big for you. No meeting is too big for you. And I just think that's just something that everyone, that's listening can take that in, no matter what it is. If you're a business owner, if you want to be a performer, if you want to be, just whatever it is, that there's nothing that's too big for you, and it's your journey.
Yeah. And
you have to start, going after it, and I think that's what I'm really hearing from you. And it's just, the good thing about getting to do these interviews is it's almost it's like free coaching.
Right.
Because there's things that we're thinking, but it just reinforces to hear someone else and just basically saying, look, you can do it. It's not too big for you. The stage is not too grand for you. You just need to just start moving.
Yeah. Start small. Might be 2 people out there to begin with. Then the next thing you know, there's 200. The next thing you know, there's 2,000, and you just keep going from there.
Yeah. So thank you so much for the ad. And I know someone is thinking of, okay, let me get going. Let me start. Let me just start. Let me just get some movement going. So thank you for sharing.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And so my closing takeaway, it's like sometimes we see celebrities, or you see a podcast host or somebody, radio host, you think they've had success, and you look at them and you think, oh wow, they're so lucky. Wow, they got that break. Things just happen for them. But it's even Yaya had to laugh at that, because what gets missed is just the hustle. What gets missed is the rejections and the things that didn't go as planned and the setbacks. But the difference between that person and the average person is they kept moving.
Yeah.
They kept fighting. They kept going. They kept getting rejected. And I have an actress friend, and she told me one time that the audition that you don't go to is the part that you would have gotten.
Yeah.
That's how it is. You know, you just never know.
No, you don't.
You never know. You just have to. Anybody that's at the top, they've been rejected hundreds, maybe thousands of times.
Yes.
You know, and the key is you get luckier. You know, the more things you're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a numbers game. If you're putting one person's putting 10 things out, another person's putting 1,000 things out, the person putting the 1,000 things out has a better chance of succeeding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to have thick skin too, right? Because I mean, that whole thing around rejection or when something doesn't happen like immediately, like you just gotta be able to shake it. You just gotta be able to shake it off and
Oh
just
yeah.
keep going forward because, like you said, Eric, and yeah, eventually, that persistence and faith, eventually, it's gonna be the payoff and
Mm-hmm.
in that, and it's and at whatever level success is for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You might want to be a singer, but you may not be, you know, a celebrity, but go for it.
That's it. Doesn't matter.
Just go for it. And if
That's
you
right.
feel good about what you put into it,
Mm-hmm.
then you were a success.
That's right. Yeah.
Sure.
That's right. Definitely. Can I just say one more thing? And this is important to all the people that are listening today. You're not going to be motivated by watching this one episode. You're going to need to get with a coach. You're going to need to get with a program like this masterclass that they have going on in a minute. You're going to have to get with the consistency of something that's going to keep you consistent. To build something like this, it's going to take you a long time. You're going to have to get used to setbacks. You're going to have to get used to not having enough money to do this at this moment in time. You're going to have to get used to asking people to support you, to support the vision, to put forth your foot and get it closed on a lot, and you're going to have to just step back, get some crutches and hop to the next thing. So I'm just going to let you know. But
Yeah.
you're not going to get everything you need in this one episode, in this one interview with me. You're going to have to find the person that you connect with. It may be them, it may be me, it may be someone else. Get with that person and get mentored and learn and go for it. Just don't think that this one episode is going to do it. It's not.
No, that's great advice. And it's fun. The funny thing is that we just see a pattern. Every person, every highly successful person that comes on here, they always mention something about mentors.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That can't be a coincidence.
No, it's not.
If people that
You're
are
gonna need
making
it.
it happen have mentors and see the value in mentors, that's something I think that's critical. We need to
Mhm.
value as being critical to our success.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
For sure. All right. Well, she's just been dropping these boulders on us.
I'm motivated. I'm excited. About to go chase my dream.
I'm
Hey,
telling you. I'm
let me know how it goes. I have you on my show.
Yeah, because I heard Eric was on the show. I'd like
Yes,
to
he
be on the show.
was. Yes, he was. Yes, it was wonderful. Yes, he was.
Yeah, well, let me know.
I
Absolutely.
got you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, how can people connect with you?
Well, they can go to dreamchasersradio.com, or they can hit me up on dreamchasersradio@gmail.com. Either way, it's pretty simple. So dreamchasersradio.com. I do have a contact me page, or you can just Google Yaya Diamond, because I've worked so hard for the SEO on that to make it so that the first 3 pages that you see are all me. Pick one.
There you go. There you go.
Pick one.
Nice.
Fantastic. People can get the magazine. They can.
That's right. Then get the magazine, and then that will be also on Dream Chasers Radio. I do have that focus there, as well as you can hire me on Cameo now, because I guess I've made celebrity status. Cameo sent me an email saying that they would love to have me as an artist on there. So if you know what Cameo is, it's where Snoop Dogg and all those guys, you can hire them to sing happy birthday to you or whatever. Well,
Wow.
you can reach me there as well. Yaya Diamond.
Nice.
All right. Well, another outstanding episode
Another one.
of the
Yes,
30
definitely.
Minute Hour podcast.
Wow.
See, you didn't believe us when we told you at the beginning, this is not your everyday podcast. Now you see, this is not
No.
everyday podcast. You can
It's
check
not.
us out on the 30minutehour.net, on the 30 Minute Hour Facebook page. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, anywhere else you like to get your podcast. You can find us there as well. Until next time, have a great one.